Hello there, and welcome to Heavenly Album Covers. Today was holiday family time at the swap meet, where I met my nephew there, and we hung out for a while. I hadn't seen my nephew in several months, and I hadn't been to that particular swap meet in about 9 months. So we had a good time, and I picked up I think 5 records here for $1 each. They all seem to have a space age theme to it. At least 2 or 3 of them do. And let's look at the albums I found right now that I found at the swap meet. This is an album called Sounds in Space. It's a compilation of sorts. They call it a sound demonstration record, and it has various singers and groups and music acts doing stereophonic recordings in order to test your stereo. And the nice thing is this album here features Ken Nordine. He was a great voiceover artist, and he had his own albums and singles. His voice was and is very distinctive, and so this is Sounds in Space. The flip side of the album isn't that interesting, so let's move on. This next album is called Fantastica, Music from Outer Space by Russ Garcia, and this album cover is in slightly poor shape, but you can still see the gist of the image here. Here's planet Earth with, looks like it's made out of Play-Doh or clay, and like it's been suspended in space here. And Earth is being approached by this interesting looking thing here. Looks like it's made out of strands of string. The fantastical lettering up here is amazing. It looks like it's blowing up or falling apart or both. There are some stars here, and this strange shape contains some text up here, including the Liberty Records logo. And once again, the flip side of this isn't that interesting, but look at that cover. Next up is an album called, I don't know if I can pronounce this, it's a difficult pair of words, Frat Hop. That's the album title, Frat Hop. And this is by Eddie Miller and his Blue Notes, and this contains instrumentals with a beat for dancing. Look at this fellow here. I'll zoom in on him in a moment. It's 3 couples here are dancing and socializing here, probably at the fraternity house back in the 1950s. And here's a UCLA banner in the background. Everyone looks very happy and involved with each other, and they're having fun at the frat hop. Let's look at this guy a little bit closer. It looks like his head is swiveled off of his body, but I hope he's okay. And this pair down here are talking, and this couple is doing the boogaloo. And so this is Frat Hop on Tops Records. Tops was a very, very low budget record label that put out all sorts of generic musics, and this is a Frat Hop. Next up is an album called Belly Dance A Go-Go, Music of the Middle East. And here's a belly dancer here. She's in some sort of standing in front of a backdrop of some sort here, and she's dancing around. She's doing the belly dance a go-go, and she's dancing to the music of the Middle East. This album was recorded by Artie Barsamian and his orchestra. I do believe that Artie Barsamian was a clarinet player. I have some other albums by Artie Barsamian, and I think he was a clarinet player. This album is on Fiesta, and this album is called Belly Dance A Go-Go, Music of the Middle East. Next up is a very brightly colored album cover by the Harmonicats. It's called In the Land of Hi-Fi, and these are all harmonicas here. They're stacked and they're falling down in all sorts of ways. This album is in high custom fidelity on Mercury Records, and just look at those colors and the yellow, blue, orangish, and the reds. It just pops out of there and makes you want to buy the album. And on the flip side, we'll get to see what the Harmonicats look like. And there they are. I think we've got another Harmonicats album somewhere in the archives, stacked away somewhere. And there they are. I mean, harmonica is a nice instrument, but I'm not sure if I would like to listen to 3 people play the harmonica at one time. But still, those are the Harmonicats. And those are all the albums. I'm going to show you this quick other thing that I found at the swap meet. If I can find it, I'll keep talking. It's pretty heavy. And what it is a reel-to-reel tape recorder. Let's put a light on it. Oh, put a light on it. And I was leaving the swap meet, and I made a turn. I went down a row, and I bumped into a person that I like to call the swap meet queen. She's married to a guy named the Swap Meet King, and they've been there forever, and they sell every weekend, and they're pretty great. But they were getting rid of stuff this afternoon. Everything was $1, and I saw this Webcore tape recorder sitting there. I asked the guy if it was $1. He said yeah, and I brought it home. I plugged it in. It works great. It seems like it hasn't been turned on in years. I'm going to take it apart and wax it up a little bit and lubricate it a little bit. It plays tapes, and it seems to be a monophonic player, and everything's on it except for this thing. I'm going to find a new little button for record and playback, but oops, I will give you an update on this. $1. Who sells reel-to-reel tape recorders for $1? I don't know.